Alright everybody, super quick intro for this video. This is just going to be kind of a video explaining the structure of my training, what I'm doing for this next mass phase, which is what this video is about. Kind of detailing what I'm doing for this next mass phase, what the general plan is. I'm not giving any specific goals per se, because I'm keeping all that to myself, because I'm going to achieve those goals and say what I did after I did them. But enough on that. Today we have back, shoulders, and triceps. Three of the things we're focusing on this mesocycle. I'll explain a ton more in the actual voiceover during the training footage, but let's get to it. Let's have a good day. Alright everyone, so welcome back to A Year in Bodybuilding. Today I'm going to be taking you guys through this little back workout I have here, and also talk a lot about my general plan for how I'm going to be bulking for the next half year or so, even longer than that maybe. This first exercise I did want to talk about a little bit though, because this is a new exercise that you guys have never seen me do before. This is called the Kelso shrug. This is something that I saw John Jewett, Nick Gloff, a lot of the Camp Jansen guys doing, and it just looked like a really good exercise, especially for the back, because I feel like a lot of times with back training, my rhomboids and traps don't get trained very well. I haven't really prioritized traps at all in the past, which I am doing this macrocycle, but I think this exercise would be really beneficial to train the rhomboids as well and just get a really strong retraction. This is basically a scapular retraction weighted with dumbbells, obviously, and it's been feeling really good. I am not very strong at it yet. I'm only doing it with 35s here, but eventually, once I do the exercise for a long time, like I'm neurologically adapted to it, I'm assuming that I'll be a lot stronger at it and I'll be able to make a lot of progress on it. I'd say it'll probably be a few weeks. This is only like the first time that I've ever done the exercise, but it felt really good. I got quite sore from it, and I'm really excited to progress it. Like the big boys, like Nick and all those other guys, can do this with 150s with the same sort of range of motion and contraction and slow eccentric that I'm doing here. So once I'm there, maybe I'll have a big back, hopefully, and then back guy can tell me I have a big back. Shout out. But here is another exercise that I'm kind of doing. This is new. This is the single arm T-bar row. This is just another back exercise I wanted to try out this mesocycle. There's nothing really special to it. I haven't done it in the past. But personally, for me, bent rows haven't really felt that great, just like normal pronated bent rows I'm talking. But currently I'm doing some underhand bent rows, which are feeling really good. I did those during my cut phase, and I am continuing that for my mass phase and seeing where I can take those as well. But this is just another back exercise. While I'm prioritizing back, I am going to need to do more volume, so I'm kind of having more exercise than normal, which is totally okay. So talking on programming a little bit, the reason that I am prioritizing back is because I'm prioritizing upper body for basically this entire mass phase. Personally, my legs are quite a bit ahead of my upper body, and I just really want to grow my upper body. I feel like that's something that has been the hardest for me to grow, honestly. My chest is really good, my back isn't that great, and my arms aren't that great, but I have a pretty decent chest and shoulders. But I really want to improve my back and basically my upper body in general, because that's a whole thing that people want to have when they're bodybuilders. So I am basically just prioritizing upper body for this whole macrocycle. I'm planning on getting to my highest body weight ever. The highest I've ever been to in the past was 192 or so, which is while I was powerlifting. So doing low volume, not great ranges of motion. All my training was strength based instead of being hypertrophy based at all, and I just know a lot more about hypertrophy now too, so I'm fairly confident in my abilities that I'll be able to make the most progress that I've ever made for mass in general in this next mass ever. So I'm really excited for that. It's not to say that I'm the most experienced dude out there, or I know the most out there, because I totally don't. And that's why I have a podcast where I'm going to have guests on there and shit, which is going to be great. Also talking about podcasts, here's Shay. We actually recorded a podcast yesterday, actually 2 episodes, the first one will probably be out tomorrow. Got to get that edited up, but it should be out then. Here's just some cable upright rows. This is probably one of my favorite exercises ever. It feels amazing for my shoulders. I don't get any wear and tear on any joints, and I'm able to push it really far. This mesocycle I'm kind of experimenting with a bit of a slower eccentric than normal, and it's been feeling really good. Like, I only did 2 sets of this and I had like a massive shoulder pump. So definitely would recommend to those of you that haven't found a shoulder exercise that feels really good for you. Like for me, normal barbell upright rows feel okay, but this just feels like on another level. It's way better. So this is kind of why I'm doing it and going to be continuing doing it. So speaking of shoulders, because this is a shoulder exercise, I am also prioritizing shoulders, just because it's a whole upper body prioritization mesocycle or macrocycle, which is multiple mesocycles strung together. I'm going to be prioritizing more than just back. I'm going to have some mesocycles where I'm doing back priority, some mesocycles where it'll be more chest, and then I'll kind of be doing the antagonist muscles. So, when I'm doing back priority, I'll be doing tricep priority while doing shoulders as well. I don't really think I need to take shoulders on low volume ever, just because they recover so quickly and they're quite resistant to adaptation, so you can just pound them with volume and just destroy the shit out of them all the time. I don't really think I need to dial back on volume on them at all, ever. So I'll be doing that for a really long time. So essentially this mesocycle, I'm prioritizing back, shoulders, and triceps, and also biceps are kind of prioritized because I have more upper body days, so I'm able to train biceps more. And kind of the way I'm going about prioritizing upper body is I'm having 3 days per week that I'm training back, which is my current priority, instead of like the normal 2 days. And I think that's kind of like, to prioritize something, it is absolutely necessary to do more frequency for that muscle group, because it gives you more bouts throughout the week that you come in fresh and you're able to train that muscle group first. And I just think it'll be really beneficial. So if you guys are trying to prioritize anything, including upper body, like a lot of people say like, oh dude, like I wish my upper body was bigger, but yet their training doesn't reflect that, and they still train legs 3 days per week instead of like training upper body more days per week. So it's really like training is just more logical than anything. Like, I'm totally not saying that I know a lot, because I don't. There's people out there that know way more than me and are way more experienced than me, but hopefully one day I'll be one of the more experienced people out there and be able to spread even better information than I spread now. I really hope that I somehow give you guys some information that you can take forward with your own training, and hopefully you guys can get some value out of these voiceovers and stuff, because like personally I've kind of gotten away from normal vlogging because I don't really like the personal life aspect of it, for one, and then also just it's not really my thing. Like, I'm big into training and I like doing these kind of videos because I'm able to talk about training and how I am doing it and how I'm prioritizing different things and using the scientific principles to be as good as I can be. So yeah, I don't know, that was just kind of a random rant that wasn't really planned at all for this voiceover, but thought I'd just get that out there. So I hope you guys get some value out of these voiceovers and don't just listen to me like I'm a fucking robot or some shit, and just kind of get something out of it. So here we just have some overhead tricep extensions. It's definitely smart to include some overhead variations for triceps, especially if you're prioritizing them like me. And I think it's a really great idea. So I definitely recommend doing this exercise. I don't really know what else I wanted to talk about this video, but this is definitely going to be the most productive mass cycle I've ever had in my life. You guys can hold me to that. This will be great. I don't really care if I even get fat either. Like, if that happens, fuck it. We are getting big. I'm not going to be skinny anymore. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. That's really close to the end of the video here. I just have a little bit of extra footage here, and I think that's the end of the set. So hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Hope you got something out of it, and I'll catch you all next video.